Hello, and welcome to episode number 9 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is the first of the 2-night pay-per-view extravaganzas. We are booking Backlash 2020 for the Raw brand. The whole last month of the Raw shows have been leading up to this big night here tonight, and without any further ado, let's just jump straight into the show. Pre-show match, Kickoff show. It's a 42 in which Aussie Might, the team of Shane Thorne, Bronson Reed and Brendan Vink, defeat Humberto Carrillo and the Viking Raiders when Bronson Reed pins Humberto Carrillo with the big splash from the top rope. Vink 29, Reed 38, Thorne 34, Eric 46, Ivar 48, Carrillo 48. Does pretty much what it needed to do, gives Aussie Might a big win on pay-per-view kickoff show against a thrown together tag team, or trios even. But now we kick off the actual show with more tag team action. In the 60, the Street Profits defeat Cedric Alexander and Ricochet in 13:53 when Montez Ford pins Cedric Alexander with a frog splash. Street Profits make defense number 1 of the Raw Tag Team title. It's not actually defense number 1, of course, but mod things. Tez 53, Angelo 51, Cedric 48, Ricochet leading the way with a 64. Pretty good match considering those ratings, I guess. They sort of overachieved. Ricochet sort of carried it all. But yeah, the Street Profits defeat Cedric and Ricochet here tonight at Backlash. Next match also gets a 60. The match first match didn't get 64. In which Kevin Owens defeats Murphy with a pop-up powerbomb. In 18:14. They don't click, so it would have done better. Because I did have it be open and slow build. 55. The Kabuki Warriors defeat Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross when Kairi Sane pins Alexa Bliss with the big insane elbow, and the Kabuki Warriors are once again the women's tag team champions. Nikki 44, Alexa 54, Kairi 51, Asuka 71. 2 segments gain heat for this, but yes, the tag team championships have once again switched to Kabuki Warriors, who are now your 2-time women's tag team champions. Aleister Black vs. Apollo Crews gets a 60. And it's pretty much the match they had on Raw after Mania again. This time a slightly shorter at 16:21. Back and forth match. Aleister looks like he's got it won, and all of a sudden MVP appears at ringside. And he's distracting the referee to the point where Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley also run out. And Shelton and Lashley, they team up and take out Aleister Black. And Apollo, he's been at war with MVP and his crew for the last couple of weeks because they said he didn't have that winning edge. MVP was trying to rile up Apollo, but he couldn't quite get it done against Aleister Black on the Raw after Mania. And he told MVP that he had that winning edge now and that he wasn't going to lose here tonight. So he looks at MVP like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want this. You told me I was going to be the winner. You told me to go up there and do this for myself and win. Prove that I'm better than Aleister Black. When all of a sudden, he stops and he smiles. He takes advantage of Aleister Black, picks him up, and Lashley hits him with a big spear again. Shelton Benjamin lays him out with the pay dirt, and then Apollo would hit the standing shooting star press as the referee staggers to his feet. MVP points him in the direction of Apollo, pinning Aleister, and he counts the 1, the 2, and the 3, and Apollo Crews defeats Aleister Black. Thanks to MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. A little bit of bone to pick here is that they put Shelton Benjamin in the MVP group in real life. So that is annoying me because the group of MVP, Apollo, Lashley, and Shelton is something they could actually very much do. But I had this planned the whole time. And I was sat there sitting on this knowing that this is what I was going to do, but then the real WWE started booking it as well, and I was sat there I knew it would look suspicious because I started booking the same thing after real WWE had already shoved MVP with Lashley and with Shelton. I don't think they're actually going to put Apollo in at this point in real life, but for a while it did look like the group was going to be Shelton, Apollo, and MVP with Lashley, which is exactly what I've made here, as the next segment will solidify as the 4 men beat up Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews gets his win back over Aleister here tonight at Backlash, thanks to MVP Shelton Benjamin and Apollo Crews, and, well, Bobby Lashley. Sorry. He is Apollo Crews. We then get a segment with R-Truth with his 24/7 7-Eleven MVP, the European TV Championship. And he's like, yeah, I finally got my baby back from Tom Brady on SmackDown last night. Woohoo. And all of a sudden, we hear shouting from off screen, like, that title's mine, I'm going to win the championship from up. And all of a sudden, Oney Lorcan just flies in from off screen. He hits a standing blockbuster on R-Truth onto the floor, and he pins him 1, 2, 3 to win the 24/7 championship. So Oney Lorcan making his pay-per-view debut here tonight. He's roundly hanging around backstage, and he's the new 24/7 champion. 70. Probably going to be the best match of the show. Andrade defeats Rey Mysterio 19-16 and makes defense number 1 of his United States Championship. Both men score 73. Storyline gains heat. And yeah, pretty much what it's supposed to be. Just a nice mid-card banger of a match, as you can always expect these two to put on. Speaking of mid-card banger matches, Andrade is making his way back up to the ramp as Angel Garza makes his way ring, and they sort of like exchange looks and nod at each other ahead of his match with Austin Theory. And that match goes 13 minutes and 48 seconds. And Angel Garza and Austin Theory have a match that you'd expect Angel Garza and Austin Theory to have. Pretty damn good wrestling. And Austin Theory is playing the babyface through most of the match. And Zelina Vega is the dastardly heel, distracting him and like breaking his eyes when the referee's not looking and stuff like that. When Zelina is stood at ringside, all of a sudden a woman comes out from the crowd. She's got her hood up so we can't see who she is. And she decks Zelina Vega at ringside. And, of course, Angel Garza is worried about his business manager. So he checks on her. The referee's like, what the fuck? He's trying to escort this masked woman, this hooded woman, out. When another person flies into the ring, he takes out Angel Garza and he hits him with a curb stomp. And Austin Theory calls for the cover, and he pins Angel Garza 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Throws his stands up in the air, celebrating, going, yay, I won, I beat Angel Garza finally. When, of course, the hooded man who hit the curb stomp pulls his hood down to reveal the Monday Night Messiah is back. And he appears to have his newest disciple. When he calls in to the ring the masked woman, the hooded woman who beat up Zelina Vega, who takes her hood down to reveal she is Ruby Riott. So, suddenly a lot of things are making sense. Ruby Riott was losing all those matches. She needed to look somewhere else for inspiration, and what better place to look than the Church of Rollins. Buddy Murphy also comes out. He comes out too with like Bibles printed with the Messiah's face on the front, and they hold it in the middle. They all put their hands on their hearts and one over the like stacked up on top of each other on the Bible with Seth's face on it, and they all pledge their allegiance to the Church of Rollins and to the Monday Night Messiah. And things are now very much going to get interesting, and because if I do say so myself, this is the story on Raw I am most excited to see pan out. So Seth Rollins has got his 2 newest disciples. He's back after taking a month off to sort of collect his feelings after getting beaten by Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Match for the vacant Raw Women's title. It goes 8:34 because it's sort of like quick and smash mouth and fast paced out of the gate. Liv Morgan would jump on Shayna and land the punches in, and it would just be all action in these 8 minutes. But of course, the outcome probably wouldn't ever be in doubt. And that is Shayna Baszler defeats Liv Morgan in 8:34 with the cookie in a clutch, or care food a clutch even, and she wins the vacant Raw Women's title. So Shayna Baszler couldn't get it done against the man at WrestleMania. She's got it done here tonight, and she's the new Raw Women's Champion. Gets a 61. That's actually very good for this match, which I'm assuming is going to be better than Did I click? Oh! Okay, that's actually pretty good for a Jinder Mahal match. Anyway, Drew McIntyre defeats Jinder Mahal in the main event for the WWE Championship in 1644 with a Claymore and makes defense number 2 of his WWE Championship. McIntyre 76, Jinder Mahal 45. And Drew McIntyre looks to have a very long and prosperous reign with the WWE title, in which there's going to be nobody on Raw that is a feasible threat to the Scottish psychopath. Or so he thinks. Because as he's celebrating on the top rope, Brock Lesnar's music hits. He comes storming down to the ring. He lays Drew McIntyre out of an F5. He picks up the WWE title. He holds it up in the air. Does his little Brock Lesnar jig on the spot. As the show fades to black with Brock Lesnar standing tall, staring angrily into the camera. Show gets a 72, which is the rating of the main event, which for a pay-per-view with Jinder Mahal in the main event is not actually a bad rating. I expected it to be fucking shit. But the first month of this was sort of like just going through the motions, sort of like kind of planting seeds to get it away from real life, but now the first pay-per-views are going to be out of the way. It's very much going to be our new universe, and a lot of interesting stories are going to pan out over the next coming weeks and months. So hopefully, I'll see you for Payback next time, and then after that, the first Monday Night Raw on the road to May's pay-per-view, the joint branded Money in the Bank. See you guys then.